Hey, are you new to the club? Click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell beside it. See ya!
What's up everyone and welcome to Spiller Kenzie channel, and if you're planning to buy Razer Kishi controller, please do watch my video first. Recently, the Razer Kishi controller hit the market for mobile gamepad and they started accepting orders. I was curious and excited to check if I can get one near my place. I was about to order when I found out some details that put me off on getting one controller. This video is not stopping you from getting the controller or bashing the product, and you are free to spend your money, but if you want to know 3 reasons why I don't suggest getting this controller, please stay on the video. Okay, the first reason will be the device compatibility. To explain further, if you happen to have both mobile platform like me where I have Android phones and iPad, I need to buy 2 versions of Razer Kishi. So this is going to be a hassle. So if you only have Android, you can get Razer Kishi, but if you happen to be like me where I use both OSs or operating systems, it will be costlier for me. And this leads to my second reason, the pricing. The controller is a bit pricey if you're going to consider that an Android version will not work for iOS. There are certain alternatives for controllers that offer better compatibility, ergonomics, and pricing, and they are tested. In the next couple of minutes, I will be listing down alternatives that are going to be reasonable in terms of pricing and compatibility. And the third and last reason is going to be the lack of support for button mappings. For me, this is the most critical reason why you should not get the Razer Kishi controller. Since mobile gaming doesn't have standards in terms of game controls, a mature or touch mapping is essential when choosing a mobile gamepad. Talking about popular mobile games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and many others, Razer Kishi lacks support for other games, especially for PUBG Mobile. I do understand that third-party mappings are not welcome for PUBG Mobile version or the global version, and that could be the reason why Razer Kishi lacks support for this game. To give you more information about this, actually the Chinese version of PUBG Mobile welcomes third-party controllers like keyboard and gamepads. That is the reason why gamepads is very popular in China, and there are many companies that produce this kind of product like GameSir, iPega, and FlyDigi. So if you're the type of user that plays a variety of mobile games with different controller orientations like gyroscoping, swiping, touching, screen touching, and FPS style of games, I think Razer Kishi will not be enough for you. And now let's go to alternatives. Like what I promised, I'll be providing Razer Kishi alternatives that are cheaper and have wide mobile game support. By the way, the following suggestions are based on my personal experience in using these controllers. First on my list is the FlyDigi Apex wireless controller. I just recently acquired this controller and I totally love it. This controller supports a wide variety of games including Fortnite and Call of Duty Mobile without needing any button mapping. This controller also works flawlessly for emulation if you happen to play or enjoy old retro games, and no configuration is required. Just pair the device and that's it. The controller also lets you play on PC with its USB adapter that is provided for free, so it's so cool that you can use it on mobile, PC, or even console. Please check out my previous FlyDigi review video for more details about this controller, because there are so many details that is not enough to put on this Razer Kishi video. The next one is an Xbox One controller or PS4 controller. Unfortunately, I still don't have PSV controller, or sorry, I still don't have PS4 controller, so I'll be using Xbox One for demo and showing purposes. If you want a well-supported controller, one of the two will work flawlessly, especially for games like Fortnite and Call of Duty Mobile. Unfortunately, PUBG Mobile still don't have controller support, so you might need to wait for the developer to add this feature in the next versions. With Xbox One or PS4 controller, every game on the mobile market that supports controller will work just fine. And if you have both operating systems like Android and iOS, a single Xbox controller will work just fine without the need to buy a separate controller for a different platform. To upgrade the experience, you can also get a phone mount that is around 5 USD or 10 USD from the official Microsoft Store. So with the amount of $50 for the controller and a phone mount, it is still a better alternative for Razer Kishi. So if you happen to be looking at cloud gaming service like Nvidia or Google Stadia, PS4 and Xbox controller is fully supported, so you don't need to worry. And in addition, these console controllers also supports PC gaming like my previous suggestion, FlyDigi Apex. But you don't need an additional adapter for it to work. Pairing the controller through Bluetooth is enough. The only downside with this controller is that they don't have proprietary software for button mappings. But you can use something like Octopus on Android, and unfortunately, there is no Octopus alternative for iOS. My last suggestion is going to be FlyDigi Wasp 2. So I will only suggest this if you're not looking at playing emulation games. But the cool thing about this controller is its modularity, since you can just carry this around, and with an option of putting a phone cooler if you happen to play mobile games for a bit longer period. This controller also supports a wide variety of games, actually most of the games in the App Store, because of its support for button mappings. The downside here is you have to set your own button configuration for each game that you're going to play. For the last part and suggestion, for me, there are no one device fits all, especially for mobile gaming. It will always be depend on what you usually play. If you happen to play Fortnite or Call of Duty Mobile, or if you enjoy emulation like playing PSP and Nintendo games, I suggest you getting a PS4 or Xbox controller. If you happen to have a console at home, grab the controller and pair it without costing money. I also suggest getting a controller phone mount like what I have on my demo. But if you happen to play more mobile games aside from Fortnite and Call of Duty Mobile, I think I'll be suggesting the FlyDigi products that I mentioned. If you are more comfortable using your thumb for aiming and stuff, get the Wasp 2 controller. But if you are a more of a console player using controllers, I think you should get a FlyDigi Apex controller or the same products from iPega or GameSir. The good thing about this controller suggestion is that they don't cost a lot of money. And if you happen to be like me that I have iOS and Android device at home, getting at least two of this controller will be the best of both worlds for me. So you can actually get a combination of Xbox controller and a FlyDigi controller. Again, this video is not to discourage people from buying Razer Kishi, but to inform you that there are alternatives that might suit your gaming needs. For the very last part of the video, I included my Call of Duty mobile gameplay using an Xbox One controller, and I mounted my phone using a phone mount, which costs only around $10 or $5 if you check it on eBay. So guys, please watch the video if you want to see how I use the Xbox One controller without any modification. You just need to be aware or used to of the controls and buttons. Bye, and please don't forget to click the subscribe and the like button.